Hello. A few weeks ago, I was sitting on our bed and I was carefully wrapping up the Christmas decorations and putting them into their boxes. And I was taking each one and quite carefully wrapping it in tissue paper or a little bit of bubble wrap and carefully packaging them so they wouldn't get damaged. And then each smaller box went into a large box and eventually into a top cupboard. And I realised I was quite enjoying this process. It wasn't just because I was sitting down, but there was something about taking each decoration and having a look at it and carefully wrapping it and storing it. And it was part of the process, I think, of remembering each decoration as I was putting it away made me think about this Christmas. It also made me think about previous Christmases and all the memories that they contain. I thought about Mary, and after the birth of Jesus, when the shepherds come to visit this newborn king that's been announced by the angels, it says afterwards, Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. I got to thinking about treasure. What is my treasure? What is my treasure in this sense that Mary is talking about here? What are the things about God that I am treasuring? I think that they are the words that God has spoken to me over the years that have come alive when I've read them, when I've heard them, things that have been relevant to me. It feels as though God is speaking to me directly. I think it's also the things that God has done, the ways that he has answered prayer, the ways that when I look back I can see how he has guided me and led me carefully, the way that I can see how he has changed me and is changing me to become more fully the person that I was always intended to be, but also becoming more Christ-like. And these things that God has done in my past are incredibly important to me. And when I think about them, when I read them, when I remember them, they feed my soul, they nourish me, they remind me of the goodness of God. And when things are tricky, when circumstances are overwhelming or I just feel overwhelmed, going to this treasure that I have stored up helps me to get my eyes fixed on God and to remember the greatness of God. And I feel less at sea, I feel more anchored. And I have this treasure stored away not only in my mind and my heart, so that when I hear a word I know, that's something that I also love. But I actually have these things written down. I have them gathered together in notebooks, in journals. And I realised a little while ago that when somebody asks the question, if there was a fire in your house, what would you grab? And of course, the people you love are all safe. I realised that I would want to grab these journals because they speak to me so much of God's faithfulness, of his dependability. And I don't want to lose one moment that I have recorded of how awesome he is. What an amazing Saviour, what an incredibly faithful God. And so these things for me are my treasure. And these are things that I do look back on and I unwrap in a way and I think about and I ponder. I go back to things and I think about them again and again, and each time more treasure is revealed. I wonder, do you have treasure like this? Do you have a place where you have garnered a little storehouse of words and pictures and images and answered prayers from God? Because it's a wonderful resource. It's a wonderful place to go and to unwrap, to go and look at your treasure. Later in the Gospel of Luke, Jesus says that where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. This is important. Our hearts are to be aligned with Jesus, and so our treasure that is going to be where most of our attention and where most of our devotion lies, needs to be also firmly fixed and rooted in God and who He is. Where's your treasure trove? Where are you keeping it safe? Can you take it down and open it and unwrap it and rediscover the delights and the beauty of this faithful, wonderful God that we love?